Okay, so we are indeed live on Facebook, but we are not live on YouTube. And I haven't had a chance. I wanted to announce that we're supposedly on Twitch tonight, uh,
Oh,
but I haven't been able to confirm that. Oh, here we go. There's the Twitch page. Uh, I don't know. I don't feel like getting into it right now. So, all right, let me just grab my Zoom
we're live on
and
Facebook.
start.
We're live on YouTube.
Oh, we are live on YouTube now?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
I'm monitoring it right
Okay.
now. Or maybe wait, maybe
Oh,
this is
perfect.
Facebook. I'm not
Well, yeah,
sure.
because I have the
No, we're
live
live
and
both
nothing.
places.
Oh, there it is. Oh, interesting. Okay, well, excuse me.
Hi.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to episode 46 of Fright Lounge, the show where a panel of highly questionable horrorologists bravely overanalyzes monsters, dissects the genre with far too much enthusiasm, sparks debates among battle-hardened horror fans, and gently lures unsuspecting newcomers into the darkness like it's a perfectly reasonable life choice. I'm your host, Rigor, from various podcasts, as well as the websites Soap Hub, Soap Central, and Collider.com. And joining me, as always, is my co host, Bill Van Ryn from Groovy Doom and Drive-In Asylum. Welcome, Bill.
Hello, hello.
And so tonight, it's just you and me for the main hosts, and we've got a special treat for you folks at home. Joining us are George and Gene from the Drive-In Super Monster Rama, and they're here to tell you all about their upcoming event, April Ghouls Drive-In Monster Rama 2026. The event will feature four horror films on Friday, April 24th, and Saturday, April 25th at the Riverside Drive-In in Vandergrift, Pennsylvania. Glad to have you guys back.
Nice to be here.
Excellent, excellent. Gene, can you hear us?
Yeah, I'm here. No.
Great, great. All right, so we'll talk about the films in a little bit, your lineup, but well, actually, let's say what the lineup is first. But then I want to get into something else for a second. So on Friday, April 24th, you guys are showing Prince of Darkness from 1987, Popcorn from 1991, Fade to Black from 1980, and Evil Speak from 1981. And then on Saturday, April 25th, if you haven't had enough horror in your life, you've got Halloween 4 from 88, Halloween 5 from 89, and then we go all the way back to 1971 for A Bay of Blood, a very influential slasher film. And finally, Funeral Home from 1980. So let's first, you guys, for those who are watching at home that maybe don't know about the Drive-In Superama, why don't you give just a brief, I know it's kind of a involved story. I'm well versed in it, but why don't you give a brief overview of how the event got going?
Well, back almost 20 years ago, I'd been to a couple of horror drive-in related events, and I just always thought that this was something I could, maybe get going, do one myself, organize one at a drive. And so, to make a long story short, again, I'm from New York, but the Riverside Drive-In in Pennsylvania was the 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 theater that was very enthusiastic about doing something like this. So back in
Just always
2007,
thought that this.
this was something I could. We did an event, and we did the first one, and it was a minor success. And then every year I keep asking him, "You still want to do this? You still want to do this?" Until it was a given, and um, it's been going so almost 20 years. And then in April, the April one, which is coming up next month, we just I approached them again, and then basically saying, would you want to do one, at the beginning of the season, because the September one, the Drive-In Super Monster Rama, is in September at the end of the theater's regular season. So I approached them and asked them if they wanted to do one at the beginning of the season, which is April. And after some thinking, they said yeah. And the first one was a big success because we had, the first night we had some uh, big time slashers like Friday the 13th and The Burning, and we also had Day of the Dead and Return of the Living Dead. So that turned out to be the first April Ghouls turned out to be a pretty big success, and we've been doing it ever since at the Riverside Drive-In in Vandergrift, PA, and we're still doing it. And this is a landmark year because the September event, like I said, this will be the 20th Monster Rama in September.
Wow.
Yeah, which is hard to believe. It's just like time flies, and there was a point where I remembered every lineup, every film we showed. Now it's like it's been going on so long, I lose track of when we showed what, when we showed, or maybe I'm just getting old. Because I'm sure Gene and I, if we were doing this 10 years ago, we wouldn't be wearing glasses. Now that's to show you the age.
I wear contacts, but I'm lazy, so
I wear reading glasses, but I seem to wear them more because I don't have prescription
right,
glasses. I seem to wear them a lot. So,
right.
I have to wear
I'm too
3D glasses
lazy.
because everything's 2D for me. So,
and Bill here has been an ally with us for many years. As you probably know, he designs the T-shirt, and there's a great T-shirt for the April event that he did. When I first saw it, I'm like, I was like, that's perfect. So
yeah,
Good.
yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, we weren't able to make it in September, but the wife and I are heading down for April, so we're kind of looking forward
yeah.
to
And
it.
I thought Roger for sure you would make it because I had you in mind because we showed Mark of the Devil, and I always talking
I know.
about that one. Because didn't you see it like on first run when you were a kid?
No, my parents saw it and they gave me the vomit bag. I still have it on my
Oh,
wall.
okay, yeah, yeah,
And I just wrote an article about it a few months ago for
yeah.
Collider.
I remember reading it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that I was so bummed. It just didn't work out the timing. I could we she couldn't get
Well, it
away from
happens. I
there.
mean, it's a distance for all of us except Gene and Bill. I mean,
Yeah.
you're coming from New England. I'm coming from New York. So I mean, sometimes you can't make it, but it's just great to see when people do travel from far away to come to this and then revisit it, even if it's not every year, every April and September. But you do see people come back, and maybe they haven't been here for a few years, and then they pop up again. That's the good thing about it. It's just great to see old faces pop up.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. That's so much fun. So, all right, let's get into the movies a little bit here. So, and then in a little while we'll do some newspaper ads for them. Bill was kind enough to pull them together. So we've
nice.
got Prince of Darkness. A group of graduate students signs up for what they think is a mildly creepy research project and instead walks straight into a swirling jar of sentient evil goo that's been quietly plotting humanity's downfall like it's been waiting for the office hours to end. The setup feels academic right up until the mirror starts behaving like it's got opinions. By the time the film reaches its final stretch, it's less horror movie and more existential group project gone catastrophically wrong, complete with dream messages from the future and a lingering sense that maybe, just maybe, checking that cylinder was a terrible idea.
I
So,
hope that summary doesn't deter possible attendees.
oh no, I think it's
No, I'm
great.
just,
This is one of my
yeah,
favorites. I mean, I saw this in the movies when it came out.
I did too. I was just going to say, I'm sure a lot of us did because it came out in '87. And
Yeah,
that's a
I
time when
went
I was
opening
going to a lot
weekend.
of movies,
I
good
yeah,
and
saw it.
bad. Yeah.
I
I
saw
think
it
I
the
did. I
opening
don't
weekend.
remember.
yeah. I remember loving it. And it's funny because it's one I always liked over the years, but I haven't seen it in quite a while. So I'm excited to catch this on the big screen, you know? And
Well,
what,
Gene and I were discussing, bringing a John Carpenter film to this, and actually, I was reminded that the Riverside show during the pandemic, I think they showed They Live. So that was one I had in mind, but it's like, well, they kind of showed that a few years ago. So it wouldn't affect this show because it would be a totally different audience, a different crowd. But
Yeah.
Prince of Darkness was in the back burner for a long time, and I just thought that was the one to go for. So that's why it ended. It's just one of those films that for a long time I thought it was a good choice for this, but we hadn't got to it yet, and now's the time. So that's why it's here, and I think it's a good opener for
I was
Friday
so
night.
excited to see that it was playing. It's been a long
Yeah,
time since I've seen it, and even though I know what happens in it, it's fun to see it on the big screen
yeah.
outside under the stars.
It's such an eclectic cast too. I mean, well, first of all, you got, of course, like you said, John Carpenter, which is amazing, but you got Donald Pleasance, Jameson Parker from Simon and Simon,
yep.
Victor Wong, and Lisa Blount. It was just an unbelievable cast. Excuse me.
Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper,
And yeah, I
thank
was
you.
gonna say,
Alice
don't
Cooper.
forget a cameo by Alice.
Yep.
I think it's really one of the last really good Carpenter films because, after They Live and after Prince of Darkness, his work just wasn't what it used to be. And this movie really creates the same feeling that you get from The Fog and from Escape from New York. It's the same type of, fear of the
Yeah,
unknown. And he did the later films just didn't really do that, and They Live was more of a parody than it
right,
was, I think. But a great film nonetheless, but not a serious movie,
right. Like In the Mouth of
So
Madness, I did not think was a good film, but I haven't seen it since it came out, so I may have to revisit it.
it's a tough watch. That's the only problem. It's not a bad movie. It's just a very esoteric, tough watch.
Yeah,
John Carpenter had a hard time living up to the shadow of Halloween because he couldn't make that much money on a movie again. And I think I would say Prince of Darkness is the beginning of his commercial, the loss of his commercial viability because this was not a box office hit, even though it's beloved now. Uh, a lot of his movies ended up that way. The Thing
yeah,
bombed at the box office, and now,
Right.
like, how could anyone think that The Thing is a bad movie?
right.
But apparently, people did.
Well, it
So,
was timing. We've talked
yeah.
about this before with the ET and all that, and but didn't Carpenter though? I think he was using the pseudonym Martin Quatermass for a while. I don't know if what the story is, if you guys know anything about that. No.
No,
I
on the
can Google
film.
it.
No,
Yeah,
I
we can
mean,
look it up. I mean, that was just a little fact that I found. Um, who knows?
we
But
know he was a big fan of the Great Amounts movies. Yeah,
yeah. But that Alice Cooper cameo is awesome. I loved that.
yeah,
He didn't do much, but he was there.
Yeah, it was just creepy. It
yeah.
just like added creep. That's the
If I
interesting
get enough
thing.
requests well, maybe one day, if we're still going, we'll show Monster Dog.
Oh, yeah, I would love it. Sam would go nuts if you showed that.
That'd be awesome. All right. Now we've got next up we've got Popcorn from 1991. All right, I'll read the synopsis first. A group of film students decides the best way to honor cinema history is to host a horror marathon inside a creaky old theater, which is already a bold strategy considering horror movies have never once rewarded that decision. As they dig into the past, they discover a mysterious filmmaker whose work is less art house and more murder with a marketing plan. And suddenly, the festival starts feeling less like a celebration and more like an audition for survival. By the time the gimmicks kick in and the killer starts blending into the show like a method actor with zero boundaries, Popcorn becomes a chaotic love letter to moviegoing itself, complete with masks, madness, and the distinct possibility that the scariest thing in the theater isn't on the screen. So this is one I think my family and I rented it, but I don't remember a lot about it. When did you guys first see this?
Well, I
Rental.
first I believe I saw it on VHS. I don't think I saw it in the theater because I don't think it did play
No,
the
I was a
theater.
rental. It was a rental movie
Yeah, it
back
was
in
a
the
rental.
day.
I mean, we're here in New York. We didn't a lot of things that played in California didn't play here. I guess. I mean,
Right,
well,
right.
that ilk like more obscure stuff during the straight to video era. But I saw it on video, and it's a pretty lively slasher movie. But the whole thing with it being taking place in a theater where they're showing like these kids are doing this thing to raise money, I think, where they're showing all these old horror movies during a horror film festival, and that stuff is directed by Alan Ormsey, who's not credited on the film
Right. Yeah.
because I think it was a dispute with the producer or something like that. But the few segments that he did, like one is a parody of like the Indestructible Man, and then there's one that's like a Japanese monster movie from the early '70s, complete with the dubbing, like the English dubbing, and one is a giant insect kind of thing. Those are brilliant. And then the whole thing about the plot of the killer is he's the son of like a film director who's
It has a very Phantom of the Opera kind of feel with a sort of like
Hmm.
revenge thing going on with the movie theater, um and with it's very reminiscent of the Phantom of the Opera. At least I
That's
think
a
it
good
is.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Cool.
really is.
it's a very
It's
lively
a
film, and
revenge movie.
yeah, and it's a very lively film, and it's got it's very popular with the slasher crowd, very popular.
Well, you
Yeah.
know
And
who else isn't what's her name in it? That was in Dee Wallace is in the film too.
Steve Wallace is in
Am I
there.
right?
Jill Schoen. Yeah, yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can't be bad if Dee Wallace is in it.
Right.
Tony Roberts is in it. Who just passed away not too long ago. Well, maybe a couple of years ago. But anyway, it's very, and it was actually shot in Jamaica of all things. That's why there's a reggae band. There's a part where like a reggae band just breaks into music. It's very awkward. So
God.
it's a fun movie, and like I said, it's just among the slasher crowd. This was originally I intended this to be an '80s weekend, but when popcorn became available, it's like I just couldn't resist putting that off of not showing
I
that
don't think
one.
it's really it's 91, but it doesn't
It's
feel like a
91, but
91 movie.
yeah, it's like a cutoff
Feels
kind
like
of
an
thing.
80s film.
It's
Yeah.
very much like an '80s
Yeah, those
kind
borders are
of
fluid.
vibe. Yeah,
Right. Right. And
so it
didn't
fits right in. Yeah,
Bob Clark had a hand in this film too, didn't he? I've heard
yeah.
mixed things.
He and Alan Ormsby, they had, I think there was a dispute. There was a dispute with the producer or something, and so
Hmm.
I think Bob Clark was like gonna direct it, but he didn't end up. Somebody else ended up directing it.
Interesting.
Bummer.
Somebody out there can correct me. I did.
I don't know very much about it
I'm pretty sure
personally.
that's it. Yeah, yeah.
I was glad that you were showing it because it's been so long since I've seen it. I know I saw it, but I remember a couple things about it, but it's going to be like seeing it for the first time.
I think too. I think it's one of those films like it's going to work really well at the drive-in. I think it's just going to be, because there's
Yeah.
a, like I said, there's a lot of it's very, and like we said it was like Gene said it was 91, but it's very 80s. It's very 80s centric. It's got that
Yeah.
80s vibe. It's the
Yeah.
characters, the cast. So
And wasn't like I remember in the film there were things where it was sort of like an homage to William Castle's kind of gimmicks, like
yeah, that's
Right.
right. That's
Right.
right. That's one thing I left out when I was talking about the old movies. That every movie they showed was a gimmick movie. Like like you said, like the William Castle kind of thing. I think the Japanese horror movies called The Stench, where there's like odors and things like that. And yeah,
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. All right, and then our third film on Friday, April 24th is Fade to Black from 1980. Eric Binford loves movies. He loves them so much that reality starts feeling like a low-budget inconvenience, and eventually he decides the logical next step is to become the movies, or one murder at a time. What follows is a strange, melancholy descent into obsession where Eric recreates iconic film moments with unsettling enthusiasm, treating murder like it's part of a very committed cosplay routine. It's eerie, oddly sad, and occasionally darkly funny as the line between fandom and identity completely dissolves, leaving behind a film that feels like Hollywood nostalgia took a very wrong turn down a poorly lit alley. Okay, first impressions. This one, I have to say, I don't remember this movie. I don't think I've seen this one.
Hey, you must have not had HBO back in the day.
Yeah,
I
it
was
played on
gonna
Did.
say.
HBO constantly. It was on HBO like every other day.
It'll probably be one of those ones while I'm watching it, I'll go, oh, yeah, I did see this.
You
I
had to
feel
have
so
seen
I feel
this,
sorry for
Reborn.
him.
I
I
gotta, all
feel
right.
very sorry for him as a character, and I
Do you
kind of like.
identify with him?
No, I don't identify with him. I just think that it's one of those. It's sort of like these movies where you have an abused person. Like we grew up watching these movies in the '80s or '70s where someone's abused and they're going to get back at people, and he and that's what he does. And I think it's great that he kills all the people. But yeah,
Some of the people
I,
definitely deserved it.
right, and he had. I mean, I didn't identify with the character. I just felt sorry for him. I just was like, wow, if he can find a way to knock off all these assholes, then good, let him kill them. Yeah, that's the way I felt about it.
The girl
So,
that he kills as Dracula didn't do anything. She was
well,
minding her own business.
That's funny.
And it's
I'm,
another kind of tribute to movies in general, like old movies and cult movies in general, because he's a projectionist and he's obsessed with movies. So
yeah.
that's the dynamic of this one. And it's well played by Dennis Christopher, who great actor, of course, but and he's
You remember
dressing
him
as
from Blood and
Dracula and
Lace.
Mummy
Yeah.
and all kinds of
Oh,
things like
okay.
that.
I'm just skipping through the trailer now, and I do remember seeing this, but
See, I knew you'd seen it.
I don't remember a thing from it though. I mean, I remember the scenes, but yeah. Okay, Fade to Black there. Oh my God. So yeah, not much else in the well, Tim Thomerson is in it,
Tim
and
Thomas, yeah, actually his scenes are some of his scenes are like go on too long. I will admit that. I don't want to turn off patrons, but that's to me that's like the weak part of the movie is
really,
yeah, yeah.
You can go to the snack bar
The movie, yeah, that's true. That's true. You got a
when
good
he's
point
on
there, Phil. I
screen.
just go to the snack bar when he's on because
oh
it's kind of
man,
it's like it's a movie that could have been trimmed by like 10 minutes at least,
Mickey
in
Rourke
my
with it.
opinion. You know,
That's funny. Mickey Rourke has a small part in it as
does
Richie.
yeah, yeah.
It's
He's in
interesting.
the trailer too. If you pop up the trailer, I don't know if you can, but
I can't do that through
oh,
this right
okay. All right. Well, you can find it on YouTube.
now. Yeah, I thought Christopher Lee had a bit part in this though. I don't see him in the credits
The
here.
Christopher Lee, no,
He's not
unless
in
it's a
it.
clip. It might have been a clip. They might have had a clip from Horror of
Oh,
Dragons or
Oh
maybe.
something.
yeah, I bet they
That,
did.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's been a few years since I've seen it, but I think that's possible.
Christopher Lee wouldn't be in this kind of movie after that whole terrifying experience he had with Meat Cleaver Massacre. He's really careful now.
Yeah.
No, but he was doing a lot of low budget movies in Hollywood at the time because he was living in California and he was in some pretty questionable.
End of the world.
Yeah,
Wasn't he
I
in
mean there
End
was,
of the
there was
World?
stuff even worse than that, but he was jobbing. That's before his comeback with the bigwig directors happened a few years later.
Sure.
Yeah,
Right, right. Right. Yeah, and this is a movie too that it explores toxic fandom long before that was ever even a thing.
yeah, yeah. Very true.
Absolutely.
I can't think of too many movies before this that were like the same kind of theme. There probably is, but I just offhand I can't think of any.
Right.
Well, there's All
Right.
About Eve.
Yeah, well, I mean
That's a
I'm talking
different
about like
kind of
more like
toxic
horror and
fan.
science fiction fandom.
Oh
Oh, I
man.
thought you meant crazy fans. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's great, but this is the first one where really like when explored the horror and sci-fi crowd, which is
Or like the
something.
movie The Fan. How about the movie The Fan?
I was thinking of that. It came
That's
Yeah.
after
that
this
Yeah.
came
though.
out after. Yeah,
It
that
was
was 80,
after.
81,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Right.
Did they remade that too with like Robert De Niro and Wesley Snipes or something, didn't they?
They
Yes.
did. They made a movie. I don't know if it's the same. It's the same plot though. Is it?
It's
It
a
was
it's
called
a
The Fan. Yeah.
crazy fan going
Yeah.
after a
Yeah.
baseball
They
player.
used the same title. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, right. All right. And then next up we've got whoa, hold on.
Well, can
We've
I
got
say one more thing about
sure.
Fade to Black? This was a 1980 film, and it was right after John Lennon was assassinated by an obsessed fan. And this had some cultural impact via that, at least. And I think that's what ended up it dampened the box office for The Fan when it was finally released because people were really turned off by it
Huh.
because of
Yeah.
Lennon's death. But
Yeah,
Fade
yeah.
to Black was right at the beginning of that because he died that was in January 1980, and Fade to Black came out after that. So
Oh
there
wow.
there was sort of like some timing there involved there. Maybe not a good kind of timing.
Right, right.
Sorry, I had to mention that.
No, no, that's fine.
I'm very morbid sometimes.
Oh man, so the next up we've got a good Clint Howard movie, Evil Speak from 1981. A bullied military cadet discovers that computers are great for homework, communication, and summoning demonic forces that take workplace retaliation to a frankly excessive level. Stanley starts off as the kind of kid everyone ignores or picks on, but once he gets his hand on an ancient satanic text and a computer that apparently runs on pure evil, things escalate from quiet resentment to biblical level consequences. By the finale, the film has transformed into a full blown revenge fantasy, soaked in gore and righteous fury, proving that if you push the wrong introvert far enough, they might just rewrite reality with a pentagram.
And
This
that
is a
finale will probably happen at 4:30 in the morning.
yeah,
I'll be there for it. This is one of my top faves for this year's April Ghouls.
yeah, yeah. I saw this one like 6 months ago, so and I don't really remember it much, so it's really good.
So good.
So psyched to see it again. But you gotta love Clint Howard. I mean, he was just I don't know, about a year ago he was on The Bold and the Beautiful. He played a really good character who ended up getting killed.
I'm a
I just
sucker
saw
for
him
any
last month.
movie. What'd you say, Gene?
I just saw him last month. I talked to him last month. He was a guest here at Horror Realm.
Oh, nice.
Believe it or not. Yep, he was signing for that movie and signing for Ice Cream Man, and he was even signing for Star Trek stuff. So
I could have sworn he was dead.
me too.
I swear to God,
That's
I
not
thought he
funny.
died.
Funny. Yeah.
Oh my
No,
God.
he's with us.
Good. I mean, I'm happy
Well,
he's still alive. It's
yeah,
just I
I am
thought he
too.
was dead.
No, we don't
It's
want
a
him.
resurrection.
Apparently, he's a really good guy, though, in real life. I mean, Gene, you must
He
have
was very
experienced.
polite. He was very polite. I heard nothing but positive feedback about him the entire weekend. He spent a lot of time with people, taking pictures. He offered everybody Tranya. If you're a Star Trek fan, you get that. As a baby, he was in the episode The Corbomite Maneuver.
That's right.
He
Yeah.
played an alien, and he was
Yeah.
offering them Tranya.
Yeah.
So
And they dubbed him, an adult dubbed his voice. It's very weird.
yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello, Captain Kirk. Welcome to my ship. Yeah. Like, doesn't line up.
yeah, exactly.
Well, Evil Speak is again one of those 80 films when it just recently became available to book, and I was like, I cannot not show this one. And
Yeah.
there's like Bill was saying, it seems like it's highly requested. So
Our friend Brad is really excited about it.
Brad, it's like for Brad because I think when in conversations with Brad, he always brings this film up, and that I think it was one of the first horror movies he remembers seeing, probably on HBO. And he was one of the people I definitely had in mind when booking this one. But I'm
Nice.
glad. I think it'll be a crowd pleaser.
This
Nice.
A
one,
late one, but yeah.
it has some very shocking moments in it, including that scene where pigs eat a character.
Oh,
Well, I'm not going to spoil all of it, but there's death by pigs in this movie, and I mean, it's not as gruesome as Hannibal, maybe, but close.
Not
I
as
thought it was
quirky as
pretty.
the scene in Sugar Hill.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forgot about
yeah.
Sugar Hill
right. Oh, I love
and
Sugar
other
Hill.
pigs.
Well, I know. If you ask Bill, I know these guys. They all want me to show Pigs, the movie that
Yes.
Mark Lawrence directed. That is
Yeah.
Deadly Darling.
Oh my God. I wish you would show that. And if you want me to get Tony Lawrence for an appearance at the drive-in, I might
Ooh.
be she might do it.
Didn't we
We'll
cover
see
that
because
recently?
I can get it. So we'll see.
Didn't we cover the Daddy? What was the title again? I forgot. Now.
Daddy's
Daddy,
Deadly Darling.
Daddy's
That
Deadly Darling.
that was
That's
like
one of
the
the many titles for it, right? There's
yeah.
a few.
Yeah, we
There's
did it
like
under.
but not only are there multiple titles, there's multiple versions of the
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
They're all different. There's three different versions of it. And Daddy's Deadly Darling was the most recent one. I think that came out theatrically. They put it out again in like 1983 or 84. And this is a movie from 1973. So they were still getting mileage out of it well into the 80s. And that's the
Yeah.
title it went to home video with. But that's not the original cut of Pigs. Uh, that has stuff in it that doesn't appear in the original version of Pigs.
Oops. Is there a Blu-ray release or DVD release
Yes.
that has all the versions?
Yeah,
That,
Vinegar Syndrome
yeah.
released it.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
That's the only version you need. It has every version of the film. I mean, all the alternate footage that they use for the different cuts of the movies. One of the cuts of the movie, they decided to make it an exorcist movie. And okay, and they filmed an exorcism scene at the beginning of it. And they put it out as Lynn Hart, the Strange Love Exorcist.
Hmm.
It was bizarre. That's on the Blu-ray too. Definitely look it up.
That film has a lot of history, boy. It's one I revisit too. I'll pull that Blu-ray out every once in a while and watch it late at night.
It's so someone's waiting for you somewhere down the road. That's by Charles Bernstein, the guy who wrote the music for Nightmare on Elm Street, among other bigger budgeted films. But Pigs was the first movie that he worked on, I think. Rigor, we can't hear you. You muted yourself.
Sorry, I had a cough, so I didn't want to, annoy people.
That was. It looked like you were speaking.
So let's do some newspaper ads. Thank you, Bill. You were kind enough to
Yeah.
do them this time, and I just did not have time this month. And let me know when you guys can see it.
Yep, there it is.
Okay, there we go. Prince of Darkness. Let's zoom in a little bit here and read it from the top. A new film from John Carpenter, master of terror and suspense.
Not for the nervous. I never noticed that before. I am a little nervous, so maybe I shouldn't watch it.
One thing I like. Oh yeah, see, look, Martin Quatermass right down there. But then why is he's still John Carpenter? That doesn't.
Well, he got his directing credit, yeah.
But the writing
The
credit,
screenwriting credit, or
I don't know. It doesn't really say. That's interesting though. I know there was something I was going to say, but I forgot what it was. And then we've got another one. It is evil. It is real. It is awakening. Oh, that's what I was going to say. One thing I love about this movie is it's not your typical. You can't pin it down. It's not a slasher movie. It's not really a monster movie. It's but it's horror.
It's science fiction horror. I mean, the film
Yeah.
starts out with sort of a religious doctrine about evil, but then you find out that there's science beyond human understanding and understanding in quantum physics, by the end of the movie when they're using sleep to be able to communicate with the past and
Right.
stuff. It's very scientific. It's almost as if Carpenter was sort of thumbing his nose at the Catholic Church as being failures to maintain some sort of status quo with the devil, and that science had to step in and science had to be the one to equalize and win for the good of mankind. So,
Yeah.
and that's sort of a Quatermass kind of thing too. Think about it. When you think about the Quatermass films, especially Quatermass in the Pit, you see a
Yep.
very similar mythological concept versus science of the situation. So that's what I thought when I saw it. I thought this is John Carpenter telling the Catholic Church to shove it.
So
No,
what's vampires?
and
Yes.
vampires too. Absolutely,
Yeah.
very
I love
strong
that.
anti-religious message in these films.
Yeah. Interesting. But it also worked because I remember loving this movie because it was analyzing religion through a scientific lens. And that was what
Right.
Hmm.
this was what, 87? So I was
Absolutely.
13,
Absolutely.
right at that age.
Well, that's a really interesting idea because usually you think of religion and science not being able to come together because they sort of cancel each other out. But in Prince of
Right.
Darkness, they're totally in sync. I think
Yeah.
Right.
that's an
Yeah.
interesting idea.
I think is this the movie that has the line where he says that on a subatomic level it becomes magic. Science becomes magic. Is that not a
Yeah,
line in this movie or a
I
movie
know.
similar
something
to
like
it?
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got next here. Oh, here we go. This is popcorn. Let's kind of start at the top here. The best reason in a long time to leave the lights on.
I don't know about all that. Oh, Fangoria said that.
Oh, okay. I can't see that. Oh, yeah, there we go. Explodes across. No, that was oh yeah, you're right. Fangoria. And then guy from
Showtime was the one on
Showtime.
the bottom.
Yeah. The Possessor, 15 years ago, he murdered his family on stage and burned down the theater. Tonight, he's back for an encore.
You know
That's
what this
awesome.
is like, sort of, is that movie Slaughter High with Caroline Munro.
Yes,
That's
yeah,
also a similar themed film, also originally known as April Fool's Day until the movie we know as April Fool's Day came out first.
right.
But Popcorn, it sort of has that same setup with more elaborate staging.
Yeah. I love this poster though. This is one of the coolest ones.
Wait, those theaters, were they from Pittsburgh? I think they were. Go down to the bottom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Monroeville
that's from
Mall.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Yep. Cranberry, Monroeville.
Harmer Cinema, that's where I would have seen it. I didn't though.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I never saw this until, I mean, well, I was already in college at this point.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
'Cause I had moved away from where the Harmer Cinema was. I wouldn't go there if it was anywhere. But no, I just ignored this movie. I didn't think this looked interesting to me at all. I was really snobby. I've gotten over it.
Oh, and then we've got another one. It's funny and gross. I love that. Hold on. Ingenious and spoofy.
Spoofy. There's spoof all over it.
Oh man, you got spoof all over my movie. Explodes across the screen. Buy a bag, go home in a box. I always like that as a catchphrase. Oops, there's another Pittsburgh.
Yep.
The Cranberry Mall. And I think, let's see what's next. Okay, here we go. Fade to Black.
Oh, now you see where I got the image for the shirt.
Yeah, it's terrific.
Yeah.
Second top hit. You see that Dracula logo? That
Yeah.
that must be the Frank Langella Dracula, but
Yeah.
the font is definitely from the advertising for Scars of Dracula.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
Is it
definitely
really?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
The R, the way the
Yeah,
R.
I mean, I have the poster hanging on my wall, so I know it by like the back of my hand. Yeah.
Did Universal use that for the Frank Langella Dracula?
No, it's probably one of those cut and paste jobs, I think,
Oh, okay.
where they just use anything. No, the no, actually, it could be I'm sorry, it could be the Frank Langella one. It looks like the Scars, though. It looks a lot like it. I could be wrong. I'm sorry about that. It probably is the Lou Langella.
I
Yeah.
love all the fonts
Yeah.
in this
Well,
ad.
anyway, it's a cool ad anyway.
This should be a t-shirt.
Yes. Yeah. That's a girl. Smegville Highway.
Maybe it will.
Oh, Asheville. I thought it said Smegville.
Smegville. What are you
Do we have
talking about?
a date for that ad? I guess it's
Oh, hold
80,
on.
1980.
Yeah, I don't have the specific date, but it was from
Yeah,
1980.
'cause Dracula was still hanging around. I guess it's from
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
All right. And then we've got this one here, which I can't read the top till I zoom. Oh, here we go. New Center Cinema. Oh, there you got like sci-fi font there.
This is South Carolina. They got some really awesome shit in South Carolina. Like a lot of weird Italian horror films from the 80s played there, late 70s and early 80s, that didn't play in other cities. They didn't know how good they had it. This
Yeah.
was obviously it was a wide release.
And I think that's the end of the Friday movies. Oh no, here we go. Another one. Second Smash Week. It
MASH,
reminds me, this kid's face reminds me of something. I can't put my finger on it.
Breaking Away.
No, I think it Cabaret, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does look like Cabaret.
Yeah,
Joel Gray.
Joel Gray. Yeah,
Old Gray is it. Yep.
but yeah, look at this, huh?
I think I see Liza in that too.
Yeah, yeah.
She's Hopalong Cassidy.
Oh, a
With
leisure.
a C.
What should we throw our money at this week, Jives? Well, Thompson, shall we throw some money at a movie called Fade to Black? That's how the leisure investment company works.
I've got a cameo in Fade to Black. Wow.
Okay. Oh, and Evil Speak. Yeah, we talked about Evil Speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's
That doesn't look like Clint Howard, however.
I can't even. Oh, there we go.
Well, it's artistic license.
I wonder if that's one of those situations where they made the poster before they hired the actors. Remember the little
That could
kid?
be.
He's a big boy now.
I love how the font changes from like that gothic font to computer-esque
Yeah.
font.
Oh, James Earl Jones' son Claude is in this. I didn't know that.
I
Claude
think
Earl
he's
Jones.
one of like the bully jocks.
Okay. I'm kidding. I don't know who he is.
Oh. Hey, I like any movie that shows a bunch of naked guys in the shower. Okay. Evil Speak. And one of them is Jim Greenleaf. Oh my God. He was in the Assassination Game, Nick Castle's movie that he made. Well,
Oh,
one of
okay.
them
Yeah,
with Linda Hamilton.
that's funny. Oh, this is from Hawaii. Oh, Linda Hamilton. That's cool. All right, and then what else do we have? Ah, here we go. And some more evil speak. He's a big boy now. Oh, there you go. You can see his computer better in this picture.
Yeah.
I love that. This is one of those posters that always stuck with me because I remember when my late teens, early 20s, I worked at Blockbuster Video. So this was always
Oh
a lot of
yeah.
these tonight's films were all
Look at
yeah.
his Motley Crue screensaver. Love it.
They're hilarious. All right, and we'll come back to this one. I'm going to stop the share. So we are going to take a 5-minute break. And when we return, we'll talk about the other four films that we're playing on Saturday, April.
Awesome, guys. All right. See ya.
Awesome. See you in a couple minutes. Okay, we are back. So, a couple quick things while we await Bill is, folks, I just want to let you know we may be cutting back to doing 2 movies per show. Usually we do 4, but that's because we had 4 regular co-hosts. And now I think it's just down to me and Bill, and I've got, quite frankly, a lot of things going on at home. So, um, I think we're going to do that, and then, yeah, we'll go from there. So, so how's things going? How is the weather going to be in Pennsylvania?
Pray.
It's going to be what, Gray?
Said pray.
Oh, pray.
I don't. It's. Do you want to know the truth? It's fucked up.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping we don't have a repeat of last year's weather this year. But what we're dealing with right now is we go from 80 degrees one day, and then we are 30 degrees within the same 24 hours. So,
Yeah.
and a lot of rain. So hopefully by the time we hit the end of April, some of that will stabilize.
Yeah. That'll be good. Yeah, because
That wasn't the case with last year.
we're thinking of putting a tent on the back of my pickup truck and taking that down. So, um, all right. So on Saturday, April 25th, that's the correct date, right?
Yes.
Yes.
The first film you are gonna show is Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. Michael Myers has been politely not murdering people for a decade, which frankly feels out of character. But the moment he wakes up, he decides to make up for lost time like a man catching up on overdue bills with interest. This time, his attention shifts to his niece, Jamie, which gives the film a slightly more emotional core before it remembers it's a Halloween movie and resumes its regularly scheduled stalking, lurking, and quietly standing in places he absolutely should not be able to access. By the end, the town has fully descended into torch panic. Pitchfork and torch panic. Everyone's making terrible decisions at speed, and the film delivers one of those endings that makes you pause and go, "Well, that's not comforting at all." I saw this in the theater. This is one of my favorites. I mean, you can't top the first one, but I really enjoyed this movie. I remember being pumped, like at the opening sequence when, um, before anything even happens, and they go, "We're moving the patient." Well, who's the patient? Michael Myers. And then the music, the theme kicks in, and I was in the theater going, "Yeah!" Oh my God.
Well, I mean, it's like Halloween 4 and 5 became available. A company, promoted promoted them that they had the licenses to show them in the theaters. And I knew that I'd known this for a couple of years, so I was like trying to. I've been meaning to act on it. I was in contact with them, like, yeah, well, you could show it for, and this is the arrangement and all that. And this is a couple of years ago now, and I thought the time was right because again, this is just Halloween franchise. Now, people who are not familiar with the event were like, "Why are you showing 4 and 5?" Well, we showed the first 3 already just in recent years. So I would have loved to have done a Halloween night, but we got 4 and 5 together, and again, the Halloween is such a big franchise. A lot of people are excited about these. Some say 4 is their favorite. Some say 5 is their favorite. And I guess some people don't like them, but having Michael Myers back on the driving screen is as part of a slasher night. I think is a good cause for celebration. And again, I think people that come this is going to have a great time seeing these. And a lot of like you Roger, you said you saw it in the theater, but I mean we're dealing with a lot of younger people that didn't get to see these things in the theater, even though well, it's a long time. It's almost 40 years ago now. It's hard to believe, but
Good Lord.
I mean, now they're getting the opportunity to enjoy these in the theater, and I'm sure they own them and all that. But yeah, it's just I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It was a lot of the promotion for this event is centered around us having 2 of the Halloween franchise movies. So
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And it's funny because we don't have to get into it. We've actually talked about it on this show before, but Halloween, it seems like it has different parallel Earth versions. They keep diverging because one sequel will ignore the last three sequels, but go to the two
Yeah.
before it, and it's all this mishmash thing of trying to figure out the continuity. Well, the continuity is their separate Earths, you know.
Yeah, or you just, it's just a character that they don't want to they don't want to end, so he
Right.
keeps coming back, and then,
Oh, so of course Donald Pleasance is back as Dr. Loomis.
yeah, we have 3 Donald Pleasance movies for the weekend now.
Oh yeah,
One on Friday and then the 2 on Saturday.
that's
His
funny.
We're
face
no
should have been
stranger
on
to
a
Donald
shirt.
Pleasance. We've shown plenty of his movies over the years, so
Oh my God,
even
he's
some of
great.
his British horror movies we've shown.
Danielle Harris plays young Jamie, and she's still around. I just saw a post by her on social media recently.
She's still around. We actually tried to get her as a guest, but none of the channels were responding. So
Oh, that's too bad.
sorry. We tried. We really did. Gene tried. He was on it. I was on it, and came up with nothing. So it would have been great. She would have been guest of honor, and yeah, but
Yeah, I remember when you guys a couple years ago had Felissa Rose. That was cool.
oh yeah, and last year, Patty Mullen when we showed
Freddie
Frankie
Mullen.
Book.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yep.
last April was Patty.
Right. Did you show two Freddy Krueger movies that year?
we showed 4. We showed the first 4 last
Okay,
April.
that's right. I
Which
remember
was a
now.
big deal. I mean, that was like, that's why, I love the excitement over the famous slasher franchises. So that again, like when I said when I was, I knew that the Halloween 4 and 5 properties had become available to book in the last few years. After we had done the whole Nightmare on Elm Street night, I said, "But I got to follow it up. I got, how am I gonna, what am I gonna follow that up with? And that's." So it was a no-brainer to get Halloween 4 and 5. Is first we had Freddy, now we have Michael Myers. So
Yeah, yeah.
it's a lot of it
Awesome.
is about pleasing the crowd and
There was a
bringing
guy.
the crowd in.
There
I
was
think
a
a
guy.
lot of people are excited about this, about 4 and 5.
Oh yeah.
They're not really my favorite movies in the franchise.
No,
That's
and
the
that's okay because we're not. It's
Yeah, I
like
don't care.
yeah.
Right.
No,
It's
I totally hear that. And
because so
not
many other
everybody
people are
does. Some
excited
people
about it.
love them, some people don't. That's why
Yeah, it's
we just
okay.
try to do. But then we'll talk later because that's why there's a curve in Saturday night. There's a little bit of a curveball.
Yeah, that's Ooh, I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah. I know there was a couple of things I was gonna say. Well, this movie revived the franchise after Halloween 3, kind of derailed things, and I don't think it's Halloween three's fault. I think we can all agree upon rewatching it, it's a really solid film. I think Bill, you and I have talked about Halloween 3 before.
Yeah, I wish
It's
they had continued in that direction and just done a different weird Halloween movie
yeah,
every time, and that was the
would have been
Halloween
interesting. That
franchise.
might have been like a good way for John Carpenter to really push his imagination out there, maybe, make movies that make
Yeah,
money. Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
No, because everybody wanted Michael Myers, so
Right,
he is
right.
again.
And they
I
still
think
do.
Yeah,
I think that's part of
they're
why I
not
was
done with
excited
them.
to see this because at the time I remember dissing Halloween 3. I hated that movie, and now I love it. I revisited it finally. All right, so if we don't have anything else to say about Halloween 4, I want to take a quick interlude because I grabbed this off my wall, and let's see if you guys can see it.
Ooh,
The
We gave
lighting.
away some of those last year at the drive-in.
Well, I didn't give them away. I
you
sold.
sold
Oh,
them.
you sold them. Okay, I
I
didn't know
sold.
if you
If I
sold
had
them.
more, we were. There was a plan to mass reproduce them, but it's just something. I mean, I can blame myself.
We may be getting some for Bay of Blood.
They,
It's
they
Ooh,
a
The
do
it,
vomit
it,
exist. Yeah,
bags
I can
that
see if I.
were.
But
it's a possibility.
I do own one. I have one on my wall. I have. Roger. I got the same one. I got that, but I also have the one for Tombs of the Blind Dead, which is basically they just took the Mark of the Devil barf bag and glued like the ad mat
Yeah,
artwork over the Mark of Devil, and they did it again with Blind Dead, which was ironic because they cut it to get a PG rating. So there's really nothing that's going to make you throw up.
Yeah, right. Bill, what is that one that you just showed? Is that the
Oh, that was
same one?
Bay of Blood. Sorry,
Oh,
since
Yeah,
you
I
had the
got one
vomit
too.
bags
With the,
here,
out.
hold on. I'm gonna go to speaker mode so we can see it up close. Is that
Oh,
the right one? Yeah, you're just up there now.
this is not an original, by the way. This was a reprint that you could get from Severin with their
yeah.
brand new 4K of Bay of Blood. I'll be honest, I don't buy a lot of physical media, but that one I had to have. I was like that. That
George and I have it too.
Oh yeah. And I
Did
I
got
you
the
guess I
buy?
book
Did
set
you
couldn't.
buy
right.
the package with Barbara Still, Bill, or did you just buy the separate?
I don't know what you're talking about, so no, I didn't get
He
They
that,
did
means
a
with
bundle with
whatever
Barbara
that
both.
Still
was.
and the
Yeah.
Ghost.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I didn't get both movies. I just got this one.
Hmm.
Anyway,
All right. So on to the next movie, the second one on Saturday, April 25th, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Picking up right where the last film left off, Halloween 5 wastes absolutely no time throwing logic out the window and diving straight back into masked chaos. This time with psychic connections, emotional trauma, and Michael somehow surviving things that would inconvenience the tank. Jamie's connection to her murderous uncle becomes the film's central thread, which adds a strange, almost supernatural twist to the usual stalking formula, like the franchise briefly wandered into a seance and decided to stay. It's messy, weirdly ambitious, and occasionally feels like it's making itself up as it goes. But there's a certain kind of chaotic charm to that, like watching a horror franchise sprint downhill with no brakes and full commitment. So yeah, I saw this in the theater when it first came out. I'm looking forward to revisiting it. Is this the one where they introduced the whole concept of the cult and Thorn and all that, or is that another that like
Six.
revenge?
I think six was the cult movie, but this did have some sort of illusion to it because there's that bizarre ending. I don't know if I should say spoil a movie that everyone's probably already seen at least once, but yeah, I think there were allusions to it, and they just sort of ran with it in six.
Okay, interesting. So yeah, what do we say? Donald Pleasance again, Danielle Harris again. Don Shanks plays Michael Myers this time.
Uh,
John
we we
Shanks. Yeah.
we got a nice autograph from Don for the basket. He was at Horror Realm last month.
That's
That's
right.
what I wanted to ask you guys. What's the basket this year?
The basket is definitely a Halloween franchise theme, focusing mostly on Halloween 4 and 5. And I'm looking at like a rough version of it as we speak. I'm not going to show it, but because it's kind of I've been in the process of putting this thing together for like the last I don't know how many months, but
Wow.
it's pretty cool. It's definitely going to be really cool. Yeah, but it's definitely
Don
it's Halloween franchise focused. That's what I'm calling it.
Don took a bunch of our flyers, or our little, we printed cards this time, and he took a bunch of them. He was really enamored by it. And
Well,
he signed one too. He signed one. He goes, "Give me one of those," and he signed it and just handed it to me. And it was very nice. He was a nice guy. I mean, it's the second time I met him. He's very very nice. He's well liked among a lot of other celebrities as well. So good man.
just to clear up for those who don't know what we're talking about, at the Drive-In Monster Rama events for the weekend, we always do a raffle basket for the show, which gets raffled off on Saturday. It always usually has most of the time has items related to the movies, either like masks, action figures, other kind of merch. And I put it together myself. I try to do them as best I can. I think the one we have for this Halloween franchise theme is gonna be really cool. So
Nice.
yeah,
That's awesome.
You guys get the
Okay.
best shit for your giveaways. It's
You do.
amazing.
I so
yeah, I
wanted to
do.
win
I
that one
search it.
last year.
Yeah, did two last April. I'm not gonna do that again, but I did two last April.
A good incentive for people to come out. George pours his heart into it.
Yeah. Oh my
I
God,
do.
months of work, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So next up, we have A Bay of Blood from 1971, which Bill, you and I covered, I think, not too long ago. Before
Yes.
slashers became a full-blown industry, this film showed up, kicked the door in, and casually demonstrated that a group of people can, in fact, eliminate each other over property disputes with shocking efficiency. Set around a picturesque bay that absolutely does not deserve what's happening to it, the film unfolds like a domino chain of betrayal, greed, and increasingly creative ways to not survive the evening. It's equal parts murder mystery and proto-slasher blueprint with a wicked sense of humor just lurking beneath the surface, as if the film itself was quietly amused by how quickly everyone turns on each other. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, we covered this movie. I really enjoy this movie. This is one that had a major influence.
It
You know?
definitely did, yeah. And I mean, it's a giallo and it's a proto slasher at the same time. And again, when Severin, not only did they release it off the 4K Blu-ray UHD, but they made it available just recently for a theatrical exhibition. And when I found that out, I'm like, it's I gotta get it in. I gotta get it. I mean, I would have waited for September, but I'm like, I want to get it in right away. And it goes with the slasher theme. It's a 70s movie. I mean, it might be jarring for people who know know the Halloween films and the Halloween sequels and aren't familiar with like an early 70s Italian proto slasher. But then again, they if they stick around and watch, and they get to see these killings that definitely inspired the first two Halloween movies. And
Friday
this
the
will
13th.
Friday.
Right.
yeah, it's been playing a couple of it's been showing in a few theaters that show do revivals, but this will be the drive-in premiere of the new restoration at our event, because we're the only ones wise enough. We're the only drive-in wise enough to book it. So I say
Right
that,
on.
and I mean that.
That's awesome.
So
That
this is, again, it's a thrill ride. It's just a thrill ride of a movie. It's
Right.
like got all these quirky characters, and it's just one bloody killing after the other.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's really strange to see how it did influence the slasher genre, even though it's not really a slasher, at least not in the way that we consider slasher movies today, especially because there isn't just one killer. This is like
that's
about a
true.
group of people eliminating each other. So it's not like you have to avoid like the mad killer during it. You don't know who's going to commit a murder next in Bay of Blood, but
Right.
it does have that a slasher aesthetic because a lot of times they just don't show you who's committing the murder at the time that it's happening. So just by on the surface, it has that similarities. And as George mentioned, they totally reenact at least two murders from Bay of Blood in Friday the 13th Part 2. The machete in the face and
Yep.
the couple that are speared on the
Right.
bed in flagrante delicto. Uh, so, and there are other visual similarities too. Like one of the characters has a Mrs. Voorhees cable knit sweater on. I don't know if that could be a link, but I'm calling it because
That's
it's so
true. The
similar.
fisherman, right? Yeah,
Yeah, Simon,
Simon.
one
Yeah.
of the movie's many murderers.
Well,
Simon.
there's so
The
like they're all hate. All the characters are hateful in the
Yes,
movie, and
Right.
they're all up to no good, except maybe
reptilian.
Yeah.
maybe the four kids that crashed the place. But yeah, it's and again, I mean, I'm sure you guys discussed this when you discussed it. It's got a lot of alternate titles, Carnage and Twitch of the Death Nerve. I think
Yep.
the original tie-in title is Ecology of a Murder. But my
Yeah.
favorite title is Twitch of the Death Nerve. I just think that's the title that it played most in the United States as a drive-in flick. Hallmark played it a lot under that title, and I just think it's a great title. It's a great advertising campaign.
Yeah. I
We
love
can
that.
talk
That's
more
what.
about that with the ads because I have an ad for every title that
Oh,
had ever
good,
came out
Oh,
good,
in
good.
the
yeah.
States.
Awesome.
or that in the 4K release package is absolutely astounding. It's like Severin pulled nothing out of it. It's incredible.
Did you see the
It's a
piece that Stephen Bissett did about
Yeah,
Hallmark releasing in there?
yeah, Yes,
So he
excellent. Yeah.
mentioned me in the end credits in the
Yes.
thank you,
Yeah.
but
Yes and
it's
stuff. Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
It's so well done.
Yeah.
I was thrilled.
Wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. Jeez. This movie has Luigi Pistilli in it. He was in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I remember him. And Claudine
He was.
Auger, of course, who was in
Yeah.
Thunderball.
Yep.
Good Bond girl, right?
Was
That's right.
she?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she was in Thunderball,
Yeah.
but
Oh,
also in another giallo called Black Belly the Tarantula.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
of course she was. Wow, I just realized that now.
Yeah, which is again getting a nice release by Celluloid.
I was just about to tell you, there's a new version of that coming out too.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I first was my mid to late teens was investigating Italian horror movies, I only found this under the title Twitch of the Death Nerve, which I agree. I think that's an amazing title.
Yeah, the first VHS that I remember was the Gorgon one with the clamshell, and I think it was under Twitch of the Death Nerve. Either that or Bay of Blood, but that's the first time I saw it.
I think Twitch of
I
the
mean, read
Death
about it
Nerve.
for years, but it wasn't like it was never on TV or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Interesting, interesting. Yeah, you said Gorgon Video, and you reminded me. This is off topic, but what do you guys think? And I don't know a whole heck of a lot about it, but this new Faces of Death coming out. Have you seen anything about it?
I've
Is it?
seen listings for it. I don't have an interest in it though.
Yeah, I mean, I was forced to watch the first one with a friend that rented it, and that was enough for me. It's like I can't really
It
watch that.
wasn't scary. It was just
Yeah,
stupid. It wasn't,
yeah.
I mean, it's,
Oh, it disturbed
you
me.
know,
Well, there
did
wasn't
it
anything
really?
real in it. I
Wasn't
mean,
it like 18 volumes? Well, I think there was
What the
one thing there was at least one thing
what
that
the
was
there
real.
monkey the
was only
monkey
one.
brains?
That was real.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
But
the rest of it
this
was
is
all
not.
staged.
It's not the same kind of movie. It's not a movie where they
No,
took real footage of people dying or supposedly real footage and stuck it together. I don't know 100% what the plot is, but it's a plotted movie, and things from the original film happen in
Of
it.
course it is, because if it wasn't, the modern audiences wouldn't be able to follow it.
Yeah, I
yeah.
They
watched the
probably look at
trailer.
an app. There's probably an app that they die after they look at the faces of death or something. That's probably the twist.
Oh, here we go. A woman employed as a website content moderator comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. I don't know. That looks interesting.
it
But
seems to be people are referencing like the people are watching the original Faces of Death, and they're being somehow it's affecting the real world around them.
oh, okay. Oh,
Sounds
okay.
Japanese.
Hmm.
That's kind of cool, actually.
It's all ripped off from Japan.
Right. All right. And then I believe this we have the last film from Saturday night, Funeral Home from 1980. A young woman heads to help run a rural. Let me start again. A young woman heads to help run a rural funeral home, which sounds like a peaceful character building experience until you remember that horror movies have never once used that setup for anything remotely relaxing. Naturally, there are secrets. Naturally, there are noises. Naturally, someone probably shouldn't go into that part of the house, but will anyway, because curiosity is undefeated in this genre. This film slowly tightens the screws with a steady, creeping dread, building toward a reveal that makes you reconsider every hallway, every shadow, and every life choice that led you into a building literally designed for the dead. So for me, I every time I've heard the title of this film, I for some reason mistake it for Dead and Buried with Jack Albertson, but it's obviously not. So I don't think I've ever seen this one. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I
well,
love it.
actually, yeah, Gene's a big fan. He wanted me to show this originally, and what happened was, I don't know if you noticed, but in early on, we had the Mutilator was going to be the fourth movie, and what happened was just a couple of weeks ago, the uh, the studio that I'm licensing some of these from said they had a problem with the rights issue. They no longer have the rights. The rights expired, so they have to. I have to replace the film. So I didn't even think twice. It was like, okay, well, it's going to be uh, funeral home. So that's what happened. So it was a quick replacement. It's another slasher film that fits the bill, and here it is.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian film directed by William Fruitt, who also did A House by the Lake.
And did he do
And
Spasms too?
yeah,
Spasms.
it's definitely, like you said, the ending is definitely pretty wild.
Well, I mean, the movie is very reminiscent of. There's some Texas Chainsaw Massacre kind of stuff going on in there, and Psycho.
Yes.
That's what it really kind of rips off. But it's a fun movie. I rented it on VHS and just thought it was really fun. I saw it in the theater. I actually saw this movie in the theater.
Oh wow.
It lasted one weekend. It was here and gone. And I went to see it, and it met my expectations, but it wasn't. I think, what year was this movie? Was this around the time of Friday the 13th and all these other films, or
Yeah,
was
it was
Yeah,
this?
it was. I
1980.
think it came out in '80.
80, yeah.
It might have been
1980.
playing in '81 still, or right?
No, it would have
Well,
been like this movie and Silent Scream and some of these movies like that were like the films that we would go see hoping it would be another Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or and it never was, but they themselves are fun movies independently, you know.
you
Yeah.
have
They
to
had
take
some
it
good
on its
stuff.
own terms. Because this
Exactly.
movie, as we'll see
Right.
when we look at the ads, it was misrepresented and sold.
Very
By the time
much.
it came out in the States, it was 1982. And
Yeah.
they sold it as a zombie movie because there's like an
Yeah.
image
No.
that
Yeah,
it's
No.
unequivocally meant to represent a zombie movie. And this
It's
is
not
not
zombies.
a zombie movie. It's
That's funny.
it's barely even a slasher movie, I would
Right.
say. It's more of like
No.
a psychological thriller.
Huh.
And
Right.
in fact, the slasher elements in it are really silly. There's like some funny stuff in it too, like with characters that are coming into the strange little is it a bed and breakfast that
It's a
she's
bed and
running?
breakfast. It's not a, it was a formal funeral home. It's now a bed
Right.
and breakfast.
Yeah,
Run by a silly old woman who has secrets. That's exactly what it is.
she has some issues, yes. If she didn't, there would be no movie.
That's hilarious.
Exactly. Right.
And it's got Leslie Donaldson from Happy Birthday to Me.
And curtains,
Curtains, yeah.
the ice skate scene.
She was supposed to be at Cinema Wasteland, and I think she canceled. I don't know if she was at the show or she's at the show coming up. She was scheduled for some appearances and she canceled. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look while you guys are
Hmm.
talking about it and see if she's gonna be there.
Yeah. It's also got Barry Morse in it. I love him.
Yep. Space 1999.
Yeah. And The Fugitive.
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
He was what's his name? The
Well,
Tommy
he's
Lee.
Canadian as well. You would think he was English, but because he did a lot of British, well, Space 1999, and
Yeah.
but he's actually Canadian too. Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. So, all right. So let's go into the ads and do.
She is not at this upcoming show. I think she was at the one last year, is
Huh.
where she was, or she canceled. So yeah, gone.
Okay. So picking up where we left off. Here we go. 10 years ago, he changed the face of Halloween. Tonight, he's back.
Ugh. Him, he,
Poor Nancy Loomis.
him.
Donald Loomis. I mean, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I think I bought this soundtrack on like audio cassette when it came out.
Wow.
I may still have it. Actually, I probably do. I don't know where my
Now
tapes are.
that is the representation of the original Halloween mask, but that does not appear in the film.
Well,
Oh, you're right.
I have the
No, it
Halloween.
doesn't.
I have the Halloween 4 mask in the gift basket. That's part of the gift, but it's the one from Halloween 4. It's the
Right.
licensed one that Trick or Treat Studios produces.
That's funny.
The mask
I have a funny
changes
story.
slightly.
I have a good story about this poster. So when I saw Jamie Lee Curtis, this guy stood in line with that poster and she refused to sign it. And she she's exactly what she acts like on television. So I mean, in like interviews, so you can expect how she polite but kind of, and she said to the guy, why would you ever think I'd want to sign this? And he goes, but Michael Myers is on the poster.
Oh my God.
But
Oh,
she was
she's
really nice. He didn't lose his place in line. She told him to go get something from Halloween, and she let him come right to the front, and she did, and then she signed. But she would not sign Halloween 4. She actually thought he was weird for bringing it to her. But
that is weird.
That
But
is
she is in the movie. They show her picture.
Yep.
right, but I'm saying that's what she said. That she's like, the guy goes, well, Michael Myers is on. She's like, so what's that supposed to mean? It's like, whatever. Okay,
That's funny.
sure.
I liked the supernatural element of Michael Myers homing in on his niece like telepathically. I thought that was kind of a cool introduction into the franchise, which they copied it in Jason Goes to Hell, where he was honing in on Voorhees' relatives, remember?
Right.
Yeah, that was the one that was like Friday 9, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah,
like that.
where Rufus from Supernatural had all this plot information. It's like he's like, it takes a Voorhees to kill a Voorhees, and I'm watching it going, now how do you know this?
Right.
Magic.
All right, and we've got Oh Buddy's Back. Now, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers Showtimes. Michael Myers Showtimes is returning? That's awesome. It's the Chiha Cinemas. Where is that?
I have
Still.
no idea. This might also be from Honolulu.
Oh, okay. The Carmike Cinema. Oh, Mrs. Carmike. Then we go into Halloween 5 with I always liked that poster. I thought that was cool because I felt bad for her.
Haha is in Alabama.
Oh, okay.
Okay, there you go. Save Michael's next victim. Call 1-900-860 blah 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 blah.
Brother.
First minute $2, each additional minute $1.
Yeah, that's the late '80s when call-in numbers were a big deal. Remember all those commercials late at night?
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you would dial and that who what's her name would come on and she would
yeah, well,
the
yeah. I know he's the psychic.
Yeah.
what's her name?
Oh gosh,
Dionne Warwick.
yeah. But there was a woman that wore
Oh,
like
Miss
The other
Cleo.
one.
Miss
Miss
Cleo.
Cleo.
Miss
Call
Cleo
me
would
now,
answer.
man.
Very
Yeah,
good.
Miss Cleo would answer and tell you where Michael was.
And you
Yeah.
don't even
that was the end. That was like towards the end of like the local stations before infomercials totally took over. I remember watching movies late at night on the locals, and you'd see those
Yeah.
Clio hotline commercials.
she got in
Constantly.
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah,
Turns out she was not from Jamaica.
and she was
And
not a real psychic.
then they
I
had the
saw the
dirty ones.
documentary.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Documentary
this.
about Miss Cleo?
Yeah,
It's on HBO Max. It's a documentary about her life and about how that company was taken to court and sued,
Oh
and
my
I
she
gotta
died
see
in
that.
poverty.
Oh,
God. How did she
that's
not
a
see that
sad
coming?
story.
That's
It was
terrible.
very sad. And she also prematurely died of cancer too.
Oh God.
Just
Oh,
recently, right? Like not too long ago.
Yeah, but everybody in the documentary said she was a wonderful person, so that was interesting. I
Well, it
think she
was
was
like an
working.
acting job for her, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, she
yeah.
was she was doing some type of work with the community or something when she passed away, some type of community outreach or something. I can't remember what it was.
Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I remember when back in the day when they would have those 5 minute commercials would come on and it would be like something like some lady would talk dirty to you and 9.99 for the first minute. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
She died in 2016.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
not long ago. I didn't. I thought it was more recent.
Uh-uh.
Coming March 1st, Michael Myers returns to stalk the last surviving member of his family in this fifth Halloween chiller. It's a
That,
masterpiece of terror you don't want to watch alone.
that's
No.
where its real life was on video.
Yeah.
She came out as a lesbian and she was working with outreach in Florida with gay and lesbian kids.
Miss Cleo was lesbian.
Yes.
Right on.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Look at that. Suggested retail 89.98.
Yeah.
Oh
You
my
Yeah,
know,
God.
that's what you paid if you wanted to own it.
People complain about the prices of Blu-rays.
I know.
I am kidding.
Can you imagine? And that, I mean, this is in like 1989,
Yeah.
Yeah.
90, whatever $90 was
Yeah,
then.
well, that was like right before like sell-through video was the norm.
Hmm.
I
I
remember
remember.
when like these home video labels would finally like do these promotions where they'd sell a movie and retail like for $20. It'd be like, oh my God, I got a home movie for $20.
Yeah. I remember around this time, around the late 80s, I had a Laserdisc player and I collected, I still have the Laserdiscs. I still have the players, but they don't work. But anyways, I remember and I worked at Blockbuster Video. And so when Ghostbusters 2 came out, I was able, you could order as an employee, they would let you order through the catalog and you get the discount or whatever. But it was still 89.98, the same as this price here.
Mhm.
And I looked at it on Laserdisc, it was $25.
You know why? Because Laserdisc was a sell-through format,
Yeah,
and unlike VHS, which was meant like they weren't sold, they weren't priced to like sell over the counter. They were priced to be
to rent.
rented.
Yeah,
Right.
Whereas
Right.
Laserdisc was like a collector's market, while it lasted. And I
yeah.
mean, I was there too. I had them too. So
I love that
the
halfway through the
Criterion
movie,
stuff
you'd
is
have to get up
fantastic.
and flip
Yeah.
the disc and go sit down
Oh
again.
God, it was a pain. And then if you had a long movie, it'd be like on 3 or 4 sides. It's like,
Yes.
oh God. At one point, I had one that like flipped automatically,
Oh, yes. I do remember those. I never had one
but
of them.
I'm kind of glad that I don't have to deal with stuff like that anymore. I'm kind of happy with modern technology.
All right, now. Oh, and Bill walked away. So this one is called. Oh, this is what do you call it? Bay of Blood.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
I can't read that very top, the very, very top line. Oops, sorry, I keep moving it.
A special ambulance will be at the theater to assist any patrons overcome by the explicit scenes of horror in this movie.
And
That's
at the
hilarious.
Riverside Drive-In, we're gonna have that same ambulance.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. The first film that dares to show hardcore violence.
No refunds for us. We're not gonna give you a refund. You
Yeah.
must be 16 or older, or you get in for free, and you can camp for free if you're a kid.
So this is post Mark of the Devil, I think, because
No,
it's
no, no. This didn't come out here till like 73.
okay, but that's why they're saying the second film rated V for violence.
Exactly, because this
Right.
was they were definitely g- gathering their publicity campaigns based on the success of Mark of the Devil. Because this, and I
Yeah.
think The Blind Dead came out around the same time, which is like 72 or 73.
This was
Have you shown
72.
the Blind Dead movies that yet?
We showed the third one and the fifth and the fourth one.
Yeah, two.
And I was I was able to. I mean, the first one became available, but they only have the Spanish version with subtitles, which
Oh,
I decided not to show because I think it would be too much for people to read
yeah.
Oh,
subtitles.
it would be. They when we
Yeah,
screened Deep Red, they cried like babies because they had to read 2 or 3 seconds worth of subtitles. People
yeah. I
actually
mean,
complained. They
yeah.
complained about it. It was
People complain they don't
ridiculous.
understand like that. The
Right.
whatever
They
they
they were
created
coming up to the
most
go
complete
ahead.
version possible, and it had some scenes were in Italian with English
Okay, yeah.
subtitles.
Right, and they complained. They came to the t-shirt counter and bitched about it. Oh, why you people say movies with subtitles? I mean, it was a complete version. Hello.
Right. Oh my God.
Sorry you had to read for 30 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
I love how Mario Bava is called out in this ad. They hype that it's Mario Bava's Carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of unique, right? Because I mean, it wasn't something they
Yeah.
often did. I guess it's something of a reputation with
This
with
was
with, with in America. I don't know.
this was sort of simultaneous with Baron Blood, which was a big hit. I think Baron Blood had come just before.
That's right. Yeah,
This was like
72.
towards the end of 72 by
Hmm.
the time this debuted
Yeah,
as
exactly.
Carnage.
Hmm.
Did we show the other title Carnage Erotica? Because I
No, this
stepped
is the
away
first
from.
one
Okay.
we've shown. So
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, there's
There
this
you
one.
go.
Carnage Erotica. This was another test title that Hallmark Releasing used because obviously they were all in for Carnage because they printed those barf bags, and maybe they didn't get the results that they wanted from Carnage, so they tried this for a brief moment, like selling it as sort of like an adult film because this was at the time of Deep Throat and sort of like porno chic. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
not obviously
Right.
that is not the kind of movie that this is, but no one knew that. So they were like, let's try and sell it as something that's sexy
They
and
did
violent.
that with so many of their titles. I think they did it
Yeah.
with Don't Look in the Basement, which was like
Yes.
originally called The Forgotten.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, Last House on the Left was called something else too.
Sex Crime of the
Sex
Century
Crime of the Century,
and
yeah.
also
Which
Krug and Company.
Krug and Company up.
That's funny. Oh, this is from the Boston area because Route 114 Peabody. That's
Yeah.
north of where I used to grow up, which was
That's where they
Yep.
were
Right next.
located.
That's right next to Salem.
yep.
That's where they were
I went to
located
college in Salem.
in New England, and I think it was
I,
Boston.
you grew up in Peabody.
No, I grew up in Stoneham, but I went to
Okay,
college in
I know
Salem.
I know the whole area, of course. So
Yeah,
yeah, okay. We never really talked about that.
I know. All right. So the next one is here we go. Is another one.
Here's the one where they settled and realized this is the title to go with.
Yeah. Now, this is what it played as throughout most of its early theatrical run in the United States. So from 73 until, I mean, they did use this title well into the late 70s, even though there was another title, which we'll see in a moment. But this was sort of like the thing that it was best known as in the United States for a brief time. Because as we'll see later, the other titles are sort of ambiguous.
Hmm.
So, but this one, obviously, as George said, this is the title. I mean, how could you not want to see Twitch of the Death Nerve?
And
Like,
all of
what?
them used those images of Bridget Sky getting hacked up.
Mm-hmm.
And those warnings like daring you. It's like, can you just picture, teenagers in that time period going, "Oh fuck you, I can sit through this movie,"
Well, that was their gimmick. There was somebody there that would, before you walked into the theater, they would warn you about going into the film. So, like, messing with your brain even before
That's
you're in
cool.
there.
That's really cool. That's a lost art. All right, next
Yeah.
is brace yourself for a film you'll never forget. Snuff is my game.
Yes, this is Bay of Blood.
Really?
And
That's right.
obviously, this was meant to capitalize on the movie Snuff, which had some like self-generated hype where they hired people to go and protest it. They hired a bunch of like ladies with pickets to stand outside and say that it
Hilarious.
depicted a snuff murder and that it was anti-women. And this was Hallmark Releasing's answer to it. This was only in the Boston area,
I was gonna
by the
say,
way.
yeah, it's
So
Boston.
this is probably in the latest 70s then.
No, this was 1976
Six, yeah, because
because that was when
Snuff came
Snuff
out in
came out.
75, yeah.
Yeah.
Or 76, yeah.
But
Wow.
this was Twitch of the Death Nerve,
Wow,
aka Bay
that's
of
something
Blood.
else. You would never know because there's nothing, no indication,
I know.
no illustration. Wow. You would know, have no idea what the hell you're seeing.
But think about it. I mean, like they probably made some pretty decent money off of this
Sure.
run. I mean, look, they had all these prints. So all they had to do was just go and cut a new title into it. So there's like what, like um 13, 14, maybe even 16 titles right there, theaters right there. So
Yeah.
why not? They got their money's worth out of these movies.
You know what's interesting is we've talked a lot about how these movies would get released and then, like in this case, get re-released under a different title. Have we ever met, or I know I haven't, have you guys ever met anyone that's actually gone to a film and said, wait a minute, I just saw this last month. This is the same movie. Have you met anyone like that?
I'm sure I have or talked to somebody that has, but I can't remember any particular
You know what was real?
stories
What was a
offhand.
common? What comes to mind for me are the Lucio Fulci films. I mean, so Gates of Hell was what? City of the Dead.
Yeah.
That was a
City of the
movie that
Living
changed
Dead,
titles. Yeah, and what were some of the other ones? There were some other movies that
Twilight of the
were
Dead.
Twilight
yeah,
of the
there were
Dead. Yeah.
there were some of those Italian horror films had 3 or 4 different distribution titles when they were over here.
The Beyond was Seven Doors of Death.
Yeah,
Right.
there's another one exactly. House by the Cemetery was House by the Cemetery though.
Yeah. That was one of the
I
first
saw that
DVDs I
opening
bought.
weekend.
On home video, though, it was Zombie Horror House.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
okay.
you go.
Yeah, we've got another one. Marsha is dying. Even for her, the worst is yet to come. Oh, and this is, there we go, that to avoid fainting again.
Yeah. Now this is Bay of Blood,
That's House on
uh,
the Left part.
part two,
Oh, part
uh,
two. Oh, I didn't see the two.
which just sort of like, blows my mind because Bay of Blood was made in 71, which was a year before Last House on the Left. But there's an asterisk with this. Whenever you saw an ad in the paper for this, The Last House on the Left Part 2, and we'll see some other ones here afterwards, you didn't know what you were going to end up seeing because Hallmark shipped out two different movies under this title.
Night Train Murders, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The other one was Night Train Murders. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it just depended on where you lived, what movie you actually saw with the title
Yeah,
Last House
yeah,
Part 2 cut
That's
into
right.
it.
And Don't Open the Window, we know, of course, is Living Dead at the Manchester Morgue.
Did you show that one at the Monsterama yet?
Yeah, we did. And we
Yes,
had
Yes.
we've
Spanish. Does anybody know who the actress is on the Don't Open the Window ad?
that's from Nothing to Hide.
You know the
Lin, Lin,
actresses, though?
Linda, I don't remember her last name.
Hayden, yeah. Linda Hayden, yep. Nothing to Hide is the movie, right? With
Yes.
which is the movie with Peter Finch and Shelley Winters,
They're on
right?
the full poster for Don't Open the Window.
It's
You
right
can see.
behind you. I see.
Yeah. Oh
Which
yeah,
is,
it
I think,
is.
is one of the worst advertising campaigns actually, because they have this great zombie movie and they don't
Yeah.
emphasize that there's zombies in it.
They really blew it.
Especially when it's like Living Night of the Living Dead is still popular as
Right.
anything.
They really
I never
blew it.
understood that. That should have been one of those movies where they released it like no one under 17 admitted, and I don't understand what because the R-rated version is hacked to bits.
They cut that movie has great gore. They never should have cut that out. You're
No, I
right.
don't understand. I don't understand what Hallmark was thinking when they
Well,
promoted
they
that.
didn't. When it first came out in the States, it was called Breakfast at
Yeah.
Manchester
Yep.
Morgue,
Right.
and that
Yep.
was the
Yeah.
uncut version.
Yeah, and then it's like when I see those ads, I'm like, oh my God, what could have been? Like, why did they?
Hmm.
Yeah,
I
I
always
don't get
like
it.
the Don't Open the Window one, right?
I have to admit, yeah, I do.
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm saying it's funky, great to look at now, but it's just I'm saying as a advertising for that particular movie, if you want to sell it as a cannibalistic zombie movie, like that's a kind of Night of the Living Dead ripoff, they missed the mark totally.
Well, they didn't
Yeah.
though, because they didn't want to sell it as a zombie movie because it was sort of falling out of fashion. This was 76.
I guess that's the answer. Then it was just you're right. It was just selling. It was just falling out of fashion. Yeah,
And eco horror was big, so they
yeah.
changed
Right.
it to like this thing to make
Yeah.
it look like an eco horror film.
It felt more like a Quatermass film.
But then didn't Messiah of Evil try to rip off the? But that was in the 80s when the zombie movies were coming back. I think they did that. They promoted it as like Return of the Living Dead or something
That was yeah,
before the real Return of the Living Dead.
that was 1978, right before Dawn was
Yeah,
theatrical in the States, and they tried to like jump ahead and release Messiah of Evil as Return of the Living Dead. And
Yeah.
they even ripped off the tagline, when there's no more room in hell, the dead will
Yeah.
walk the earth. And
Wow.
like, yeah, like they shut that shit down in two
yeah.
weeks. Rubenstein got a hold of it and issued an
Such a
injunction.
great man.
They
Wow.
stopped it in Chicago, but it already played a bunch of other places as Return of the Living Dead. It even had the ad looks like it's the ad from Night of the Living Dead. Like literally,
Hilarious.
it's the exact same
You know,
ad.
well, I found this out a while ago, and this is a weird story. So, I know Roger might not know this, but I know George and Bill do. So, my mom's family is from Evan City, which is Night of the Living Dead. Okay. And my dad's family is from Derbyshire, UK, which is the home of Manchester Morgue's filming.
Oh, wow.
So,
That
what a
explains a lot.
weird coincidence, right?
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
It
never
is awesome.
realized that.
That is
Huh?
awesome. That's
That
awesome.
is really strange. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Hmm.
totally is. Yeah, what a weird combination. When I found out that was filmed in
Right.
Derbyshire, I'm like, holy shit, I'm a zombie kid.
That's like beyond coincidence, you know? There's something there.
It's super weird. I know. It's like
Yeah.
fate.
Yeah, yeah. So what does this mean? It's just across the street from Joe. What's Joe? Is that a
Go was a movie with Peter Boyle that was kind of like controversial at the time,
He was
where
kind
he
of
was
slow.
well, he was
Wasn't he
like a
autistic or
no,
something?
no, no, no. Joe was like a uh
He
like
was like Archie Bunker.
yeah, like he was like a hippie hater,
Okay.
and there's like kind of a killing spree in the movie, and it came out in 1970, and it was like it was controversial at the time, and I guess it was a box office hit because of that, and they I guess they sensationalized on the on Joe's popularity.
It was sort of a counterculture film, and that's what
Exactly. Yeah.
Lost South
Yeah.
on the Left was
That's
sold
that's
as.
that's weird.
Now, keep in
It's not a
mind,
horror film. It's a it's a drama, but it's
right?
yeah.
But
I
Rigor,
thought
this
he was like some sort of challenged person. There was a movie that came out with a guy in the 70s that was kind of an underdog challenged person that I'm mixing it up with, and I
Yeah, it's
can't remember
probably
what that
could be
was.
Charlie with Cliff Robinson.
Charlie,
That's
yes.
possibly,
Yeah.
yeah, that might be it.
But Joe was it was sort of a counterculture film, and Rigor, this is sort of a unique example of this artwork because this is literally the ad copy from Last House on the Left, the
yeah.
original. And that's why it says it's just across the street from Joe, because they used that tagline to sell Last House on the Left.
Right. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
sort of
okay.
like a counterculture film.
Hmm.
But go to the next one, and we'll see
Yeah.
the other ad design for it, and that makes a little more sense.
Last House Part Two for those who survived the first.
So this is more in line with I think this image is from Daughters of Darkness.
Oh, I was
Oh
just gonna ask.
yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's the French actress or the Belgian
Hmm.
actress.
Yeah.
Um, right, right, right.
I
And the
love
school
that.
that couldn't scream is what have they done to Solange?
Right.
Yeah.
What did
I
you
love
say?
The school that couldn't scream is what have they done to Solange,
Yes,
isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I love this is the for the first time in my life I tried to scream, but I forgot how.
I can't remember if that's a real quote or not. It's obviously not meant to connect to Bay of Blood or Night Train Murders, which could
Right.
have been either one.
That's hilarious. All right, we'll go to the next one. Cries
Mm.
in the night. Oh, that's cool.
Which is
That's
Okay.
Funeral Home.
It's
yeah.
Funeral Home.
Okay.
It's actually right now on Tubi. I think it's listed as Cries in the Night. I think that's
Yeah.
the cut that's playing on Tubi.
Interesting. I like that. That's kind of a cool poster.
But don't go down the cellar. They just gave away the plot. So
Right. All right, there we go. Funeral home.
Now,
Which,
see,
yeah, that's
that's
the
a
zombie
zombie
ad,
movie,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
clearly. I don't know. These shameless hucksters.
Shameless huckster.
Some things never rest in peace. Well, that's completely inaccurate.
Well, no, technically it's true, but not in the way that they're
Right.
showing you
Not
on the
not as a
poster.
But he's
zombie,
not
right?
popping
Yeah,
out of the grave, out of the ground.
right.
It's
Uh,
more like she's
Starts today.
mooning. She's keeping her husband alive somehow in her mind.
some things never rest in pieces. Starway Drive-In Theater. That's a great name for a drive-in theater. The Starway Drive-In Theater. Oh, and
You'll
this
save
place
money
with the
there.
hearth.
With the hearse. I love these double
Yeah.
features.
That's a fun double feature.
The
Yeah,
kids
and
under
they
think so
definitely
13
go
are
too.
together.
free.
They definitely would. They just have that same kind of feel.
The ad should have had "We put the fun in funeral."
That's
I just
Fun
saw
Home.
Trish Vanderville. I saw Trish Vanderveer in something I watched this past week, and I can't remember what it was.
The
It was earlier in the
Changeling.
week. Huh?
The
No, it
Changeling.
wasn't Changeling. It was something else where oh, she was on an episode of Columbo where she wants to get a raise, so she murders her boss.
Oh,
It was
well.
her. It was
I
Trish
never thought of
Vanderveer.
that.
It was very weird. I kept looking at her, and those 70s television had so many great crossover, actors and actresses, and it took me a few minutes to realize it was her,
That's
but it
funny.
was Trish Vanderveer.
All right, so that's all we have. Thank you so much, Bill. for sharing, getting those for us.
Oh,
Um,
sure.
all right. So I just wanted to mention I was talking with Gene at when we came back from the break before you guys came back, but I think Bill, you and I talked about we're thinking maybe we'll move the format down to 2 films a month instead of 4. Because it's taking a lot and we both have a lot going on.
Okay.
So, anyways, George and Gene, I can't thank you enough for joining us tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person at the drive-in, and you too, Bill.
I'm looking forward to some good
Yes.
weather, so everybody's pray or cast your spells or do whatever you need to do because Western Pennsylvania has been a nightmare. In all honesty, I'm not trying to turn people off. The show, George and I always say the show goes on regardless because it does.
Right.
But you still would not believe the messages we get from people about if it's bad weather, are you going to cancel the show? Are you going to postpone the show? It's the younger
Lightweight.
You're in a car, you know. I don't understand.
Right.
How are we supposed to postpone it when you're in your car? You
I have a
know,
Right.
question. And since we're all right here, I want to ask all of you right now, like especially at the drive-in when it's raining or even when it's not. You want to sit in your car and you want to watch the movie. Your windshield starts fogging up. Is it bad manners to turn your car on?
no.
No, as long as you can keep the lights off, the headlights.
Yeah,
Like I
that's
find
really
if I've had cars that have those lights that you can never shut off, I bring in
Oh,
black
it's like
3-inch tape and
the
put it right over it.
SUVs. A
Yeah.
friend of ours had that problem. But here I feel bad about it to a certain degree, but I also know that you can Google your fucking car manual and learn how to
Yeah.
turn your parking lights off. I have a horror story across in the new house I moved to. The woman across the street comes home at night and she doesn't know how to turn her headlights off, and they shine into our house for a half hour every night.
That's
You
wicked
you
funny.
put
Every
your
night.
emergency brake on and it kills your parking lights.
Yeah,
Usually. That's
exactly.
usually the thing.
No, I
Uh,
think it's perfectly fine to do that. I think the problem that people run into, I think what you were saying, Bill, I think with people that are sitting outside the car get pissed off because they hear the car running.
Plus they
But
get
that's
exhaust. So it's
yeah,
like
but you
get
but you got
outside.
to enjoy the movie. Turn as long as your lights aren't on. I don't see why it's a problem. People run heaters in cars, they run air
right.
conditioning, you know. Kevin that used to come out to the drive-in used to be a good one for that. So he would either run the heat continually or he would run the air conditioning
no.
continually,
Now I'm having flashbacks now.
and one particular guest of ours who I'm not going to say on the air would complain to George and I about it, and I would tell this person, "Well, you're always sitting next to him. Tell him to turn it off." So
I
it's
think
a
is that a
notable
famous guest?
person.
Is
That's
that a
Yeah, it's
famous guest?
somebody you know who it is. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know who he does, but does he do makeup effects? Or
yes. You're hinting way too much.
Well, now I
You'd say,
know
"What's
because
what's up
Yeah,
I
with this
he
usually am
guy
next
in
to
that
that
car?"
person. I usually am next to that person, and I know I've left my car on. So
Yeah,
now I
well,
understand
whatever.
why.
It's not you that he was complaining about. Trust me, I've heard about it for a long time.
that's funny.
So, but
All right.
anyway,
Well, the event is April 24th and 25th. It's the April Ghouls Drive-In Monster Rama at the Riverside Drive-In in Vandergrift, Pennsylvania. Highly recommend you get out there. It's wicked fun. We drive 10 hours to get there. So yeah, you got to go. So thank you, George and Gene, for joining us.
thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys.
thanks, guys.
As always, thank you, Bill, and we will be in touch. We may be back next month. It's looking like I just realized the show, the Drive-In Monsterama, is at like the last weekend there, and there's only 3 weeks in between now and then. So I don't
Also,
know. So we'll
listen,
we'll have
Roger,
to-
be aware that the NFL draft, and if anybody is planning on coming to this, the NFL draft is in downtown Pittsburgh that weekend.
Oh, good Lord.
So be aware that there's going to be a lot of tourism in the
You
area
have
and stuff.
yeah, Roger. Are you camping?
I'm thinking we might, like I said, I have a pickup truck, so we might throw the
Yeah,
tent in
well,
the
I
back
mean,
of
that's a
that.
good thing about this NFL draft. If the hotel, because I booked my hotel a long time ago, and I'm in the Delmont area. If you try to book
Right.
anything that's like, what is it, Gene? Like nearer to Pittsburgh, I guess.
Anything closer to Pittsburgh, Monroeville, or
Yeah,
any of the
Monroeville,
surrounding
because
suburbs,
Right.
whatever hotels were available, the prices were like skyrocketed to ridiculous amounts. So I was able to at least get Belmont where I've stayed before, and it was like the normal price.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, again, people can camp. This NFL draft does not affect camping. We got plenty of camping.
Right. Yep.
Just don't go anywhere
if you
near
wanna camp-
downtown Pittsburgh. You're gonna
No,
regret
not
it.
at all. And also there's Airbnbs and stuff available. Nobody ever investigates this. I think that the place is open where Guy used to stay is back open. What's it called? The Parsonage. I think the Parsonage is open
I think the
up
Bates
in
Motel is
Leechburg
called.
again. And the Bates
12
Motel up the
cabins,
street
12
is
vacancies.
yeah, that all those places book up real fast. So anyone that's watching and has an interest, if you don't want to camp, there are local rooms that you can rent for the weekend, which are very nice, or Airbnbs, but you have to do all that in advance. Don't wait till last minute to get a room because you're not going to get a room.
Right.
That's not how it works.
So I just called up a quick map of Vandergrift. I'm trying to see where is it in relation to Pittsburgh? Is Pittsburgh west of it? Oh yeah,
Yes.
it is. Yeah, so I won't run into that because we'll be driving
Now
from
you guys are coming in from the other side, so you're not going to hit all that.
yeah. So
But
that's
starting
good.
that Monday through the whole weekend prior to it, and it's actually the weekend we do our show. It's going to be a tourist hell. That's the nicest way of putting it.
I can imagine.
So,
Yeah, yeah. All right. So you guys are on Facebook, right? That's the best way to
yes,
get a hold of you?
yes.
Yeah, it's a Drive-In Super Monster Rama page on Facebook. The Riverside Drive-In's page is Riverside Drive-In Theater, and that's where you can find us. You can message us about anything about the event. If you have any other questions regarding like camping or like rules or stuff like that, or tickets, the tickets are available through the Riverside Drive-In's Facebook page and well, then that'll link you to to their website, which is www.riversidedrivein.com. You get tickets there. You can get camping there. That's where you go for that. We're selling the T-shirt that Bill designed too.
Nice.
And we're
So
going to have a lot of nice vendors too. That's the other thing we should talk about.
Oh yeah.
We have Severin coming back. We're going to have Time Bomb Toys back. We're going to have Monster Mart back. There's a gentleman that's going to be selling some 3D printed things, and another guy that does art. And I mean, there's a lot of new vendors this year. Quite a
How
few
about
new
the
ones.
Stolen Stitches? Are they going to be there?
And they're coming as well. He said he is. He hasn't told me, but I read it on his page. Yeah, they're scheduled as well, and maybe Vinegar Syndrome. We're not 100% sure.
Ooh.
Whether they're not fully mobile yet to do shows, I don't think.
I'm vending
We're
too.
trying to get Vinegar Syndrome booked as well. They're in the Pittsburgh area now, in case no one knows. So it's a definite place to visit when you're here, and they're very community friendly. They work with all the other theaters and events. So if you have flyers and stuff or posters, they put them up and they help promote. I can't say anything but great things about that store and the people that run it. They've been wonderful to George and I. Our flyers have been over there for 2 months. So
Awesome.
good
Awesome.
stuff.
Well, folks, you got to check it out. So thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see the folks at home again, hopefully next month, if not the following.
Right on.